united. Joining me now is Kirsten Kukowski, National Press Secretary for the RNC. Kirsten, it's nice to see you this morning.
Great.
Or this afternoon now. Pardon me,
yes,
this afternoon. I
yes.
need more coffee. So let's talk about this as we get to the super PACs, and there's been a lot of talk about these, the fact that they really have no one to answer to legally. They cannot have contact with the campaign that they're supporting. But considering this latest issue, how dangerous do you think super PACs can be to their own candidates if they are a reflection of the company that the candidates are trying to keep?
Well, I think, I think that what this is really going to come down to is what we have control of, whether it's Mitt Romney's campaign or here at the RNC, is we have control over what our message is, just like the Obama campaign has control over their message. So I think the fact that we are talking about Reverend Wright, the fact that David Axelrod went on State of the Union this morning and talked about Reverend Wright means that they don't want to talk about their record. They don't want to talk about President Obama, and they don't want to talk about his record on jobs. And I think that is getting them in trouble. And I think that's why you have a Democrat surrogate, Cory Booker, on Meet the Press this morning, expressing some concern over that kind of messaging coming out of Barack Obama's campaign.
Do you think, though, if the super PACs are going down this road, though, why should it be the RNC's job or surrogate's job or anyone's job to remind people about what it is that you believe everybody should be talking about, which is the economy? And what I mean is, why aren't super PACs getting that message? If they want to support Mitt Romney and they believe his biggest pillar is the fact that he could be businessman in chief, why don't they try to use the money that they're gaining to promote that?
Well, I think that Governor Romney's campaign, the governor himself, the RNC, Chairman Priebus have been very clear, especially on this issue, that we're going to talk about the economy. This election is about jobs. It is about where our country is headed from an economic perspective, and we have been very clear that we want everyone to join us in that message. That is what we want everyone to be talking about. So I think that, in all fairness, we have been pretty explicit that that's what we want to talk about this time.
Kirsten, do you think, though, that the super PACs tend to, and sometimes their goals, and sometimes they can get muddy, as we're seeing the potential for them to get really muddy. Do you think that it hurts what the RNC, what the DNC for that matter, are trying to do, and basically it makes you guys lose power to these super PACs and their intentions?
Well, I mean, as I said before, we're going to be 100% on the economy. We've been very explicit about that, and that's what we can do. So every day we're going to be very public about what we want to talk about, the economy, jobs, turning this country around, and that's what we can do. And I think we're going to be very vocal about it.
All right, then let's focus right now on looking at the economy and jobs as we take a peek at some of the swing states and the strategy out there. 4 out of the 7 swing states have unemployment rates that are now below the national average of 8.1. So how do you believe that Mitt Romney's message is going to play in these key battleground states that are effectively improving under the current economy, under the current guidance of the Obama administration?
Well, I think, unfortunately for our country, this is much more than a number to people. This is about how people feel. It's about how we feel that the direction that our country is going. And that is much more than an unemployment number. It is when you go to the grocery store, how much you're paying when you go to the checkout line. It is when you go to the gas, and fill up your gas tank, how much that is costing you. And I think that there is a real concern with Americans that we are just not going in the right direction as a country, and that's really ultimately what this is about. Like gas prices, Kirsten, right now, they are on the downward trend after seeing them spike earlier this year. Also, when we talk about the unemployment rate, if that continues to tick down and get below 8%, the faster we steam toward November, how does Mitt Romney and the campaign itself combat the message that the economy is failing? Meanwhile, no one wants to cheer on the economy not doing well and to see Americans out of work. So how does the Republican side of things walk a really fine line to not look like they're wanting the American economy to fail? Of course not. Of course, any movement creating jobs is great for our country, and we're going to talk about that. Unfortunately, the situation that we are in is that there are more people. The participation rate in our workforce right now is the lowest it's been in decades, and that is the unfortunate reality that the unemployment number doesn't really reflect what really is happening in this country. We have a real problem. and we need to make sure that people in the country understand that, and understand that there is an alternative in Governor Romney, who has obviously a very great background in creating jobs and in turning companies around. And I think that is something that we're going to be talking about for the next 5.5 months.
Kirsten, thanks for your time.